So hi, Jaemin, and thank you so much for joining me here today. Very exciting. We're only a few days out now from the NLP Global Summit, and obviously everyone's getting very excited about it. And just tell us and tell our members who you are and how you actually got started in NLP.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Fran, and really looking forward to the summit. So I'm Jaemin Frazer. I'm the founder of the Insecurity Project. I've devoted my life to thinking about insecurity as a solvable problem, and see it as the most important adult work. I differentiate insecurity from purpose by saying that overcoming insecurity is not the main game. It's a ticket to the game. It qualifies you for the game. So if your purpose is still around proving that you have value by what you can contribute to the world, that's still an insecurity issue. So your work is to eradicate insecurity so you can come into the world and then connect to a purpose that's bigger than you and not about you. So my work is around helping ambitious people really solve the insecurity problem in their life. How I came to, sorry.
No, sorry, I was just going to say, and I guess working all around ego.
Well, yeah, although ego is not a term that I use almost at all, and it doesn't seem necessary. But it's interesting. It's the first time I really thought about that in a long time. Why I don't use that term, but it's not really one that I draw from. I have a real engineering bent to the way that I see the world. I love structure and understanding precision. And so I think there's a lot of mystery and mystique around the personal development space a lot of the time, and a lot of abstraction that's easy to get lost into. So I like being as laser focused as I can around specifically what is insecurity as a problem. Yeah. So rather than describing it in the terms of ego, I describe insecurity as an opinion problem, and an opinion that's created a long time ago that you've lived as though is true, but really at its basis is just the opinion, and really the opinion of a scared child, because you formed that opinion an awful long time ago.
Yeah. Nice. Excellent.
Now, but to answer the second part of your question, how did I get into NLP? So I was a church pastor for 10 years. I loved that experience. But was always puzzled by, as pastor, I was invited into people's world all the time to have conversations about change, and always puzzled why they never really led to change. And the observation was often Christians would outsource the change work to God. And, if they prayed, if they had faith, if they just believed, then their confidence was that God would somehow magically fix their life, heal their marriages, improve their finances, make sure their kids are okay. And so this idea of personal responsibility, self-awareness, just seemed too secular, which I found so puzzling. And then when I got exposed to the coaching skill set from a mentor of mine, I was gobsmacked. I thought, this is a missing technology, and just was desperate to understand as much as I could. So dived into a full life coaching diploma. And as part of that, early on, did my NLP training, which was, just an extraordinary experience. And just the technology involved in that human behavioral science was just game-changing for me. And then I felt equipped to go into the world and do good work off the back of what I'd learned.
Preach in a different way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Share in a different way. No, that's sure. Fantastic. And I know, sort of when we first met, I'll tell the viewers a little bit about, and I think I told you when we met, I borrowed your book from somebody off a coffee table and got halfway through it, and I had to come back from the Gold Coast, and I said, can I keep this book? And it was your book was the simple. Oh, you're going to have to help me on this now. To complex people problems.
Elegantly simple solutions to complex people problems.
A wonderful, wonderful book. And it made me chuckle actually when we did meet, and when you told me that actually you didn't find writing particularly easy.
No.
and yet I have to say your books are, probably the most easy reads, because they make so much sense. and are just so there for me. I just found such incredible clarity from them. So that's why I reached out to you, and I wanted to meet you, because I really loved just how those books flowed, and I've thoroughly enjoyed all of them. And tell us, what will you be sharing sort of during the NLP Summit? What will you be sharing with the members in your presentation?
Yeah, I think one of the aspects of NLP that completely blew my mind and changed my life early on in the piece was the presupposition that people work perfectly. And just it so intrigued me, because it didn't seem to be true. It seemed to be the opposite of what I thought was true. And discovering how much structure there is to people's experience, building on Stephen Covey's idea that everything's created twice. The first creation in the unseen world, often by default, but nevertheless, people's lives are the second creation of what they've already designed for themselves. And so it's perfect, maybe it's not perfect for what they want, but definitely perfect for what they created. And so it's an exact representation of the blueprint they designed. So when I understood that, I realized that if I could get a handle on that structure for myself, I could deconstruct that and then rebuild. And certainly with my clients who come feeling like their life is weird and messy and broken and their problems are mysterious and unknowable, just to hold them in that space that, no, your results are the exact ones you should expect. They're the ones you created. Yeah. They were solving a problem when you first designed them. You didn't really understand how you designed this process and why you did, but it's still the one in operation. When you see that and understand the structure of it, well, goodness me, then transformation is not only possible, it's inevitable. So I'm going to be diving into that presupposition and just how dramatically it influences change when you get a hold of it.
It's incredible, isn't it? And I think, all the way through, like, presuppositions, and what we, what we say at within our trainings is the things that you learn, you can't unlearn. Like,
yes.
The most incredible thing that I found with NLP is that it's continuous growth, it's continuous learning. And I know, just having, as we were chatting a little bit before we started recording, that I've just spent 10 weeks back in the UK with my father and my family. And it was really a lot of the things that we train out and that I've learned, that I've read about. But suddenly, when you have that quiet time where you're actually able to reflect and able to sort of really think about things from a being outside of normal life, and really being able to reflect on the things that that we have learned over the last few years, and what they mean in a growing world, and as the world is changing and adapting, what it means. And I think that's one of the things that's been really exciting for me with my NLP journey. And sort of how do you find that with sort of yourself, but also with your clients?
Yeah, well, one of the questions that I get asked all the time off the back of my work with insecurity is, is it actually, are we talking about solving insecurity forever? Like, is that what I'm saying? And my distinction is, well, it is. Yeah, it is, and it isn't. The process is your responsibility is to eradicate insecurity completely at your current level of growth. But when you do that and you free yourself from those limiting beliefs, then you'll take more territory and explore new horizons and step into greater areas than you've ever played in before, and therefore uncover new uncertainty and bang your head on new insecurity there. And so the same practice and processes that got you free the last time you'll take them into the future, and they'll get you free the next time as well. So I think it's this never-ending cycle of growth. That's evidence of progress, not regression. But I agree totally. It's embodied truth and wisdom that sets you free for each new challenge, even though it's the same concepts, the same principles, but just applied at a more refined level and a more subtle and nuanced level as you continue to grow.
And the beautiful thing about NLP, and I think the exciting thing for me bringing everyone together in this summit, is that we're going to hear from a lot of different people who've been in this space for like 20-30 years, and I'm really excited about that. I think to actually listen and as we're learning all these new perspectives, It's I'm really excited about that. Why was it important for you to be part of the NLP Global Summit?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure how people survive without high quality coaching.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Good
be,
point.
I don't know what they do. I don't know how they navigate challenge. I don't know where they turn when they're in uncertainty. And so one of the things that really motivates me is to do whatever I can to end unnecessary suffering in the world. I do like the idea that life is suffering. So the aim of the game is not to find the easy path that has no suffering. That's a trick and an illusion and is not true. The choice we have is between meaningful suffering and unnecessary suffering. So I think leaning into a fulfilling life is a difficult road to walk, but a very meaningful one. And if you don't find your purpose and don't find the life you desire to live, you'll suffer greatly as well. But that's unnecessary. There is a way to be good at being a human being and to utilize the great technological advances and understanding we have. So I think NLP is at the forefront of peak performance and understanding how to be great at being yourself. So I think it's very important to equip people with the best tools in the game to address the areas of dysfunction and limit that they find themselves. So such a privilege to be part of what you're doing.
I love it. I love it. And I think one of the things that that probably stuck out for me with with all of the NLP processes is that everything is a strategy. So that everything that we do is a strategy, everything we don't do is also a strategy. And that comes down to, I suppose, the whole growth and understanding how people do things. How are we uncertain? How does it happen? And how can we grow from learning through? So what will the main takeouts be from your presentation?
Well, to double down on that presupposition, the main takeaways will be to understand the most difficult aspect of People Work Perfectly, where you'll want to understand the concept for others. Along with the lines of People Work Perfectly, secondary gain fits in there, which was popularized by Dr. Phil. People would come on his show complaining about how bad their life is, and he'd say, well, how's that working for you? And they'd say, well, it's not working for me, I hate it. And his clever response was, well, clearly it is working for you because we only do what works. So it must be working for you. You must be getting a reward. It's in some way a strategy to meet your needs or protect your fears. And so just people will get from this presentation just the importance of holding that space. If you find a way to avoid that truth, then the deepest areas of dysfunction and pain in your life remain intact and in the dark, and you can't change them. So I think secondary gain is the most confronting part of personal development that exists. And my certainty of holding people in the space there comes out of the embodiment of that idea in my own life. Like, I'm not asking people to do something I haven't done myself and seen the great fruit of. So the takeaway will be, you'll understand the concept of People Work Perfectly. You'll understand the cost involved in applying it and not applying it. And you'll gain the certainty to really plumb the depths of the strategy and structure of your own life so that you can deconstruct it and reconstruct it the way you'd like.
Fantastic. Well, I'm really, really excited for that, and I'm really looking forward to joining you. Obviously, we're going to be around for the whole summit, so that's going to be incredible. So, why was it important for you to be part of the NLP Global Summit?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's a really important piece of my motivation in life to equip people with high quality tools, frameworks, resources to navigate the challenges of life. Being human is very hard. It's incredibly hard. And I think having high quality coaches, high quality coaching in the world, it alleviates unnecessary suffering and gives people a way of moving from stuckness and dysfunction to life and health and flourishing. So very important to spread that message and to support, the work you guys are doing with high quality training for people looking to get into this space.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. And what would you say to someone thinking about joining and registering for the NLP Global Summit?
I mean, sometimes NLP gets a bad rap. That's the wonder of the coaching space in an unregulated industry. Anyone can be a coach. Anyone can say anything. So not to be put off by things you may have heard that have not been high quality or have not been embodied, but just to know there's a bunch of really extraordinary trainers, teachers, practitioners, sharing some life-changing stuff. Yeah. So if you'd like to find tools, this will be an extraordinary experience that you won't regret.
Right, fantastic, and I can't wait to hear your presentation and to join us for the 3 days. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved reading your books, and I look forward to meeting you again very, very soon. Hopefully, when you're down in Melbourne, and we'll see you bright and breezy on Monday. So, great. Thank you so much for joining me today, and look forward to speaking again very soon, Jaemin.
Yeah, thanks, friend.